Man, I've always wanted the opportunity to play as Bruno Mars in Fortnite. I'm so glad Festival finally gave me the chance to do so. Also, I was in a coma on this date and time. We're 10 seasons into Festival, which is terrifying. For those new here, I like to start off talking about the good things the season introduced before pivoting to the bad things. So the Power Rangers theme was charted really well and is really fun to play. The Baby Metal and Yozobi songs are pretty good. Now on to the bad stuff! Although I'm being slightly sarcastic here, it definitely feels like Epic has officially abandoned all hope for Fortnite Festival. And that is evident in the icon. Now, I have absolutely nothing against Bruno Mars. He makes catchy music, I have no personal gripes with him whatsoever. It's cool that he's in the game. For the second time. Yeah, Bruno Mars was already in Fortnite, so the fact that he's a festival icon and has two different skins again sets a really dangerous precedent for the future of this game mode, if there even is one. What's next? Is The Weeknd gonna have yet another new skin and be the icon a second time? In Bruno's defense, his songs are charted decently. Opt is really fun, Die With A Smile is a great chart. I have no problem whatsoever with Bruno's song inclusions in Fortnite. I'm just salty that they chose an icon that was already in the damn game. It's also strange that they keep going from pop artist to pop artist when in the early seasons of Fortnite Festival they would change up the genre quite a bit. It's almost as if Epic wanted to do an EDM season, as both deadmau5 and Skrillex have songs this season and they're actually charted very well. I'm playing Wub Wubs on a plastic guitar. Again. Why do your memories haunt me so often? While we're on the topic of songs, the charting has been decent this season, I suppose. I still do have my gripes with some of the pro lead charts, and obviously the drum charts still have their haters. My main problem with the songs is that I wish I didn't have to buy the Lego Battle Pass in order to get a couple of them, and even play fucking Rocket League to unlock one of the deadmau5 songs. Like, that shit's a conflict of interest. I don't even like that game. I shouldn't have to play a completely unrelated title in order to unlock a song in Fortnite. That's ridiculous. The elephant in the room here is that we've been getting smaller and smaller pools of songs per week in Fortnite Festival, which sucks. This time last year, we were getting anywhere between 3 and 5 new songs every rotation, so it's unbelievable that we're down to 1 nowadays. Epic doesn't want you to think about that though, because they like to advertise that 4 new songs are being added in a certain week, but what they're actually doing is recycling songs from old festival passes that not everyone got to play if they didn't buy the pass or have crew for that month. In my case, as someone who buys nearly every festival pass because I want to support the game, I end up getting spat on and only offered 1 new song while everyone else gets to enjoy a couple of new songs. We live in a weird time where the biggest supporters of a game mode are the ones that get dicked down the hardest. The biggest problem here obviously is the lack of communication. If Epic were to come out and tell us the reason why there were less jam tracks, or telling us if more jam tracks would be in the pipeline, we wouldn't be left to assume the absolute worst and think the game mode is basically dying or Epic cut its budget by a crap ton. Every time I talk about how bad the communication is with Epic Games, I get hit with a bunch of people that say stuff like, "Oh, first time? You must be new here." As if that justifies a terrible communication strategy. We're paying for these damn songs, just be upfront with us. Tell us if there were licensing deals that were falling through. Tell us if there were unexpected delays. Even if you don't go into detail, which you really can't when it comes to legal stuff, if you're at least upfront with your audience just a bit, we would be a bit more understanding as opposed to just throwing crap at the wall and assuming what sticks is what's actually happening. Because from an outsider looking in, it looks like this game mode is being abandoned, and the lack of upkeep certainly isn't helping things. Let's see, returning bugs. The all-time leaderboard is still broken, check. The disappearing instrument bug is back in full force, and it's even uglier than before as it directly affects you and not your bandmates. That's fun. There's a new bug where the incorrect album art will show on certain songs. I'm sure the artists and rights holders are thrilled about this one. And by far the worst bug I've ever encountered, frame pacing issues on the PC version of Fortnite Festival, where songs will just randomly freeze and none of your inputs during that time will count. This is perhaps the worst possible glitch that you can have happen to a rhythm game, where the notes don't work. And before anyone assumes that it's my computer, I can run any other AAA game perfectly fine. This is a problem that is only in Fortnite, and for the most part only in Festival. This doesn't really affect me in BR at all, and it only started when the new season of Fortnite Festival started. This didn't affect me at all in the prior season, so yeah, I'm gonna chalk this up to a Fortnite Festival bug. Battle Stage is such a ghost town, I wasn't able to find a single working match to record for this video. They expect us to pay $5 for a fucking 59-second song. And to top it off, would you like to know what one of the one-song weeks was? Funny Song. What's Funny Song? Have you ever watched a TikTok? Yeah, fuck this. 10 seasons of Fortnite Festival, 2 years and 9 full videos on my channel dedicated to talking about it. Now I understand that a lot of you have come to the conclusion that I genuinely don't like this game mode, and I find enjoyment in looking for issues and reporting on them in my retrospectives. But I assure you that's not the case. When I run into a major snafu in a new season of Festival, I don't immediately crack my knuckles, grab a pen and paper to jot it down so I can rip Epic a new one. No, I get upset and I wonder why it's happening. I don't see Fortnite Festival as a laughingstock despite how these videos come across. I'm so harsh on the gameplay and charts because I've seen the studio behind this do great things. Playing Fortnite Festival and seeing the current state of Harmonix's development is like visiting a dying elderly relative in the hospital. It sucks. Especially when you consider the legacy that this company has left behind. You have to remember, like a lot of the community, I've been playing highway rhythm games since 2005 when Harmonix invented the genre. Have I been critical of Festival's decisions? Absolutely, but I'm not doing it out of spite. I don't want to see Festival fail and crumble to ash. I don't want to boycott and see it fail monetarily either, and I especially don't want to see creative people who are only hindered by Epic's lack of vision lose their job due to corporate greed and a fundamental misunderstanding on rhythm-based gameplay on the part of the higher-ups. No, I want to see it become the best possible rhythm game that it can be. I wanted it to become something resembling Rock Band 5, and the fact that Epic clearly sees no future vision for this game mode bums the hell out of me. I could do my whole song and dance about how there's no practice mode and how there have been no major gameplay additions in literal seasons, but it doesn't matter. They've had the opportunity to introduce these features that we've been begging for the past year and a half at this point. They just don't. Epic likely sees Festival as a commercial failure because it's not cranking out hundreds of millions of dollars like the main BR system is, which is the most asinine way to look at it, because Fortnite Festival was never going to be as profitable as the main BR system was, because not everyone that buys a jam track immediately runs over to Festival to play it on the highway. It gives Epic the indication that nobody wants to play Festival, which sucks. If you would have told me when this game mode first came out and I made my first ever video on it that 10 seasons in I would be this negative about a gameplay style that I genuinely love and have adored for the last 20 years, I probably wouldn't believe you. I don't personally see Festival as a lost cause, despite what Epic thinks. They could still do some genuinely really cool stuff with the game mode, especially with it being inside of Fortnite. Whether or not they'll give the developers the opportunity to do so is a completely different story. I mean, the fact that they're going to split up the Gorillaz between the Festival Pass and sell you the other two members in the store, despite the fact that they gave you all of Metallica in one Festival Pass, tells you everything you need to know about Epic's current prerogative with Fortnite Festival. Their stance on this game mode has changed, and it's certainly not for the better. If I can give one small silver lining to this, Festival is soon going to have some very strong competition. If you haven't heard, Red Octane is back together, and they're developing a brand new Guitar Hero / Rock Band style game with the best in the business. All 4 members of Lore Hero, members of the YARG development staff, as well as old school Red Octane employees from back in the day. Competition is a fantastic thing, and if this doesn't light a fire under Epic's ass to improve the state of Festival, nothing will. Despite everything I've said about the state of Fortnite Festival in this past video, I do remain optimistic for both this game as well as the scene in general. Even if it's not through Epic's volition, thanks to the new Red Octane as well as tons of fan projects, I think we're gonna be just fine. This has been DanRock. Peace out and take care. Oh, the shit I do for YouTube.